Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple workflow using FluxPrompt. The purpose of this video is to just give you an idea of how to use FluxPrompt and how to create workflows. It is not to highlight all the many tools that we have or how to create really detailed and effective workflows. That will be handled in different videos. Okay, for this scenario, we're going to pretend that we are writing a sales cold email. I just created this flow, sales cold email down here. And the first thing that I see is a global node and a text generator. The global node I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. Let's talk about the text generator. The reason why we start with this, not that you have to start with this, you can drag out another tool and connect it to the global node as the first step. It's just that most people use text generators, and so that's kind of what we have defaulted to. A text generator basically works like a GPT. In fact, this text generator runs off GPT. Right now, the system is OpenAI and the model is GPT-4. You can go in and change that. You can change it to a different model or even a different system. We have a variety of them. In a different video, we'll show what the differences are between these. Okay, the way that AI works is you usually feed it a prompt. It's basically good prompts, and we'll have videos about this later, have a clear task. They have content and examples. They have clear instruction on how you want the task done and what the artifact should be after it's done. Personas, what the AI should be pretending to be, or the perspective it should be entering this problem. Okay, and then after you feed it all of this information, it comes up with an output. Okay, so in this case, for a sales cold email, what a good cold email will have some information, right? If I come into GPT and say, write me a cold email that I can send to a potential client, that is going to produce not that great of an output. It's going to be generic. It'll probably make up stuff because it doesn't have enough information about who the potential client is, who you are, who your company is, right? So in some cases, people will do this on GPT and they'll get a response and then they'll get frustrated because it's so basic. Okay, well, as you can see here, dear client's name, I hope this message finds you well. We specialize in providing top-notch solutions. So it's just very generic and bland. Okay, let's create a workflow that makes it a very specialized and effective email. First thing that I'll do is, our tool is drag and drop, right? So we have lots of different tools that you can connect and collaborate, or connect and put together in specific tasks and order to create something that you're trying to accomplish. In this case, I'm going to drag out a text node. A text node is, the way that I like to see it, is a place where you can store information that you can connect to other AIs for context or for other instructions, right? So for this example, I'm going to say, I'm the salesperson. This is my information, right? And to make this demo go a little bit faster, what I've done is I've put together some information. So I'm just going to copy and paste. This is a fake persona, Jonathan Cresshill, and he works at a specific company, and that's all of his information, right? So I just copy and pasted that. This is something that you could probably, obviously, if this is your information, you know it, but if another thing that is probably going to be important is to know a little bit about the salesperson. So let's create an about me node here. And this is something that you could probably just go and copy off of your own LinkedIn bio, right? You put it in here. Another thing that's probably important for AI to know is the information about the company, right? Company about us, or about company, and my company. I'll put it that way. I'm going to come in here, and this is something that I would probably just go and copy off of our company's website, about us page, right? Okay, this stuff, these inputs are not likely to ever get changed, right? Once you put them in, you'll hardly ever touch them again, right? But other important information for AI to know is things that about your client. So let's create some inputs here, or some information about your clients. Client info. In this scenario, we have the potential client is Elizabeth Harmon here. Let's drag out another node and go and copy her client's LinkedIn bio. So I'll just go in to LinkedIn, copy her bio to just get a sense of who she is. And then another thing that would be important is understanding the company. Company information. Okay. Once again, something that you could probably just copy and paste from the website, right? In another video, we'll show you how you don't even have to do that. You can use our scraper to go and get that information and then put it into your workflows. But this is a simpler version of that, just to get you to understand how this whole platform works. And then another thing that I think would be important is to at least understand, the AI should probably understand how you met this client, if you've met them, right, or why you're reaching out to them. So maybe you create another one that's like relevant information. And in this one, let's pretend that I guess this isn't necessarily a cold email, but let's pretend that I met her at a tech conference, right? The future of mental wellness in the workplace, right? So I met her briefly. She mentioned she liked the 49ers, and that was a simple discussion that we had, right? Okay, now what you can do here is you can drag out all of this information into your node, your text generator. I'm going to put it into the content section here. This is basically where you put any information that AI should know or examples. Then I'm going to put the about me and about my company. And then I'm going to drag all of this stuff in here too. Okay, great. And not that you necessarily need to do this, but as you can see, if I were to open this up, it's just stacking all of that information in here, okay? All right, so now it has relevant information. Let's put some more instruction in here. Make the email no longer than 200 words. Add a subject. Keep the tone friendly, but not too casual. Something like that. And then the persona, it's always good to to give the AI some information or a perspective to attack this problem with, right? So let's say you are a sales expert with 20 years of experience working at tech companies. Okay, perfect. Now let's hit send there. And you will notice that this is the generic email, right? It's going to work and put something much better together. Okay, now, while that's working, and you can tell it's working because of the little light colors that are happening around the edge of this. Okay, great, let's look at it. Dear Elizabeth, I hope this email finds you well and still celebrating 49ers' recent victory. Great, so it personalized that. It talked about the tech conference, talked a little bit about the companies, and then it even has, I'd love to set up a time to discuss this further and provide a demo of our software. Okay, great, so it's got a call to action. It's a pretty solid cold email. All right, now let's pretend, I know this hardly ever happens, but let's pretend that that email didn't get answered. Okay, but first, before that, let me change this. This is cold email 1. Let's label them so we can stay organized, right? We're going to create a cold email follow-up. Okay. So in this scenario, you know, probably 3 to 5 days have gone by and you haven't received a response. So what you're going to do is all the information that each one of these nodes and tools provides can be connected to a different node. So right here, this is an output. I'm going to drag this information and I'm going to put it inside of this AI and give it context. I'm going to say, and I'm going to say, create a follow-up email that I can send 3 days. I can send if I haven't heard from the potential client after 3 days. Okay, perfect. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to take the instructions that I gave it here, and then I'm going to take the persona and I'm going to copy it here. In the future, we're going to make it a lot easier for you to reuse that type of information. So I'm going to send this, and then I'm going to prepare a different part of my flow. Now, when I said send, what it's doing is it's performing that action in this specific node. Later, I will talk about how we can perform all actions of this workflow. Okay, let's pretend that after 3 to 5 days, they still haven't answered the email. Cold, let's call this the final cold email. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to drag this information, put it into the content here, and then we're going to say, write a final email that I can send a potential client after I have not heard from them. And then, you know, you can say, actually, let's do this. Instead of just adding this email, let's do this. Let's add the first email and then add the second email. And then you can say, one of the things that I'd like to tell people is that just when you're using prompts, sometimes we overcomplicate it. Just use the way that you would talk to an assistant. So you could say something like, I have provided the first 2 emails for context. Perfect. And then if you wanted to, you could, again, copy the instruction and copy the persona in here and hit send. Okay, so after that's done running, not only will you have a pretty solid cold email that is customized to your customer, right? And you'll have a second, a follow-up email, and you'll even have the final email that you can send. 3 emails. And now that's great for one customer, but if we wanted to automate this, one of the things we could do is first we can connect all of these. So the way that this works is this node right here manages all of the other generators or tools in your flow. So you have to connect them in order for you to execute the entire flow. Otherwise, it will stop where it will only run the specific generator that it's connected to. So this is connected to this one. I'm going to connect this generator to this generator. Then I'm going to connect this generator to this generator. Okay, now when I hit execute flow, it will run through each one of those generators one at a time. It'll take this one first, and then it'll run this one, and then it'll run that one. And now you have an automated flow where you can easily just type in some client information, copy and paste a LinkedIn bio, copy and paste the company about us page, and then some relevant information about why you're reaching out to them. And automatically it will run through this flow, create 3 emails for you, and then you can go out and cold call all day long. Okay, great. Again, this was just a simple tutorial to show you how the tool works. In other videos, you'll get to learn a lot more about each one of these tools and how to create more effective and more complicated flows. Hope you enjoyed it.